First of all, there's a bunch of guys who rape kids, who want people to sound gay, and they're filming me badly and changing my voice. I'm going to prove that definitively in a picture video I'm going to post around the time of this video, where it's going to show you some of the rates of child abuse in the churches, and that Americans admit that Satanism is popular in America. All right. The idea that Romeo is superimposed on. When I was 17, I was mature enough to be ready to date the most mature 45-year-old. In fact, it is logical to assume that I was more mature than any 45-year-old female in history. Okay? This is key. It's very controversial to say this. One could argue, at least it used to be. I think most people these days would agree when they see how females are acting and they look at history and they don't see an example of specifically the word mature, right? Mature. It's one thing to be book smart. It's another thing to be mature. It's one thing to be able to lead one of these corporations in this evil society, which a little kid could do, you know. It's another thing to be mature. All right. This is part of why they edit my pics, voice, and images, right? They edit my pics, voice, right? They edit my voice. And they fume and poison me and change my voice in person. In my videos, including the video image itself. It is okay, you know, the still image that they show the video and how you see me in the video, okay? It is okay for people to be less mature than I am, but not for them to reject my leadership, because we are who we are. And I am the top martial artist ever possible. And God's King of Kings, God's King of Kings gate, his main gate of all time for all humanity, and the last one ever possible due to tech breeding, generational ill-gotten gains, cheating, and rebellion, etc. Who from what race, tribe, clan, group, or family can say that they are greater than I am? Again, who can say that they are greater than the top martial artists, right? Okay, again, I use focus, moral intensity, and universal pinpoint and moral precision. These things in the divine order, okay, are real, and they're the Spirit of God. So I'm conveying spiritual power as the top martial artist. Exodus 15:3 says, the Lord is the warrior, the Lord is his name. Isaiah 42:13, Psalm 24, and on and on and on, right? Revelation 19, the heavenly warrior defeats the beast. Anyway, it is painfully obvious when one thinks about it that the top martial artist is the most deep of people and God's main go-to person. With all this being said, if a woman was to date at this point, it is best that she completely submits and lets me complete her with the divine spirit from above. She would sense that she is doing right, but not truly feel the spirit, thanks to the society that sabotages me, that she should hate far more than enough to not conform. So it's still in her best interest by far to submit and do the right thing and feel and know that she's doing the right thing. Okay, even though she couldn't kind of feel the intense feeling when I convey the martial arts spirit of God doing martial arts. And it's partially, you know, it's basically because the opposition view, people in churches, people in other views, they want you to go to them instead of me. So you've been cheated out of feeling God's spirit drawn into the world by these sniveling worms, these weirdos, these sissies, these assorted betas and brutes, these dumbasses, these conformists, these social club crest-wearing punks, and so on and so forth. So why on earth would you then go to them? When somebody rapes your child, do you say that's so romantic and start dating them? So why the hell would you go to them after they've done this? Okay, anyway. All right. All right, so truth of the spirit, thanks to the society that sabotaged me, that she should hate far more than enough to conform. Okay, thanks to the society. Okay, that she should hate far more than enough to conform. Hate that which is evil, the society is evil. Truly, conformity is immature, and it is part of why people fail to do the right thing. Again, that's also in the Bible. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Okay, and if the society becomes one with evil, then you should not, you know, yoke yourself to those sinners. When Jesus said, you know, he was in the story, he dusts himself off and he leaves the towns. He chastises them. He says they're going to hell. He says, and you, Capernaum, will you be lifted to the heavens? He says, no, you're going to go down to Hades. Okay, and he leaves that area. Okay, he doesn't make nice with them. He doesn't become one with them. All right. Truly, conformity is immature, and it is part of why people fail to do the right thing. If a woman isn't willing to die for God and moral precision, then she is just a little girl, and it begs the question, why didn't her parents raise her correctly? So again, I tell you, if a woman isn't willing to die for God and moral precision, then she is just a little girl, and it begs the question, why didn't her parents raise her correctly? In the Bible, Jesus says to the Pharisees that they should first clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside will also be clean. Women should first stop cheating me out of my right to lead, so they can clean the inside of their being, and then they can truly be proud of themselves in reality, know exactly where they stand with God, know where exactly they stand with God, and know that they will go to heaven. Okay, so they should first clean the inside of the cup and dish, right? Like Jesus said to the Pharisees, so women should first stop cheating me out of my right to lead, so they can clean the inside of their being, and then they can truly be proud of themselves in reality, know where exactly they stand with God, and know that they will go to heaven. It's important, that's why I said that twice. Do not let the governing class make childish arguments based on social norm fanaticism and throw around their worldly authority, quote unquote authority, and scare you into thinking I am wrong. If the world was to turn on me and my followers and drive us to poverty and try to coerce us until our suffering was greater than any logical reason to keep on living in the flesh, then one option and possibility is for us to simply die. In the movie Chinese Connection, it asks the question, who says life is preferred? Think about Braveheart, in the movie 300, and Shaka Zulu. Which one of you thinks that the righteous should submit to the rule of evil and keep on living? If this is the case, why was Jesus put on a cross in the story? Why was John the Baptist killed? Why was Stephen the martyr killed? Why do you not publicly say that the morally precise should submit to the rule of evil in a serious manner? Because you know that argument is fucking retarded. So when Jesus knew that they were going to crucify him, okay, it was like he stepped in front of a bus, so to speak. He knew that they were going to kill him, and he stayed there anyway, which got him killed. In a sense, again I tell you, in a sense, it was committing suicide. It was committing suicide specifically because he wanted to maintain being righteous and do God's work. And for that same reason, it is allowed by God to commit suicide. Let me give you an example. In Catholic popular culture, it might be Christian in general, there was a woman in the Colosseum in Rome who was going to be killed by a soldier who didn't want to kill her because he thought she was beautiful, and he was going to get himself killed. So she grabbed the sword and killed herself. Why is it that you say that it was allowed for her to kill herself in that situation? But if you're facing a situation that you're going to be tortured with technology and psychological operations and substances, etc., okay, until you're likely to start worshiping the devil because most people aren't as tough as I am, okay, that you would say in that situation it's not allowed. Okay, that's hypocrisy. That's white supremacy. Only the devil worshippers themselves will make that argument because they want you to live and be their slaves, and they're sexual sadists like Marquis de Sade, and many of them are related to Marquis de Sade, and they're direct descendants of Marquis de Sade. Okay, that is why they make that argument. All right. There is no viable counterargument for this, and the fact that a life that ends at the age 30 with the top martial artist ever is far superior to a long life of submitting to evil. Okay, and there's no viable counterargument for that as well. Yes. After we turn 30, the best years of our life end, and basically no one can say how long we will live after that. Imagine how deeply I would love a woman, and tell me exactly which woman do you think should be considered out of my league. On this trajectory, I'm set to die alone one day, screened out by pure evil groups. This will be the biggest failure of women, and there will be no turning back. See, I'm not necessarily saying that I plan to commit suicide. However, I am saying that if you are in a situation as an individual or as a group where you have a choice to end with a righteous life or be tortured for no reason, with nobody, without producing any fruit, okay? Why give the sexual sadist pleasure? Why not just end it, right? And what is your viable counterargument? Again, I'm not feeling suicidal. I'm not feeling like hurting myself or anyone else. I'm exploring this idea. Okay. On this trajectory, I'm set to die alone one day, screened out by pure evil groups. This will be the biggest failure of women, and there will be no turning back, because the key word is alone. If the groups that rule over them care about women, including women in their families, why does it seem like it will end this way after contacting thousands of women over many decades and trying to reason with them? Truly, Romeo's fate in the story was greater than any rich person's in American history except my father, and greater than any American president's. And truly, my fate in reality is far, far, far infinitely greater than Romeo's. Thank you.